You know, call me a pile of third day left behind second harvest, but it wasn't anything I expected to be coming out of the theater after seeing Inside Out 2 today, declaring pretty good. Kind of shocked, actually. Didn't think they had it in them, and it's actually kind of depressing because it puts it out there for everybody to see that they have the talent and that when motivated, they can actually deliver a family-friendly product that you can take your kids to and not be worried about any kind of agenda seeping in or having them exposed to any kind of topic or subject material that you might not have wanted them to have faced up with at whatever age they happen to be at. So let's talk about Inside Out 2. I didn't see Inside Out Part 1, but you know, I said to myself, Wolf, you're pretty sharp. You'll probably be able to figure out this high concept piece, Pixar sequel, and be able to put it down for the folks in a short review. So here we are. Story picks up after Part 1. Riley's a few years older. Things seem to be going well. You know, Riley lives at home with both parents, and Riley's parents have a real good marriage until 1, 2, 3 into the 4. Oh, look, it's puberty knocking at the door. Yes, I totally ripped that off from 8 Mile with no shame. That's just how I roll. But movie, tightly paced, gives you the story in like 90 some odd minutes, and here it is, folks. It's a tale we can all relate to, really. Riley's starting to grow up a little bit. The emotions that she thought she had sorted out in Part 1 to get her to where she is today, that it kind of put together her self-concept. They call it her self-image, I think, in the movie, or her sense of self is what they call it. And it's kind of this treasure they keep up on a vault. It's got her on the straight and narrow. You know, she's a good person. She's kind. She's good with animals. Her friends like her. She's smart. She's athletic. She's a, you know, an ace hockey player, and that comes into big play later. But when the bell rings and puberty happens, here comes a whole new set of emotions, stuff we can all really identify with. You know, things like anxiety and boredom. Sarcasm's not an emotion, but it has a funny appearance in the movie conceptually. Embarrassment, and what was the other one in there? Envy. All those things that come together as a teenager. So we get all these things mixed up into a nice, neat little package that then explodes all over the screen in a very colorful way. It's not a musical, so there's no musical numbers in there. There's no depressing soliloquies or anything like that, so you don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. It really is just a straightforward story of how Riley is trying to find her way in the world. She's going to hockey camp with her friends. I'm not sure if they were friends from the first movie, but she has 2 friends in this movie that may or may not be as good a hockey players as she is, and they find out that they're going to a different high school when school starts and that Riley's going to be off on her own. So the choice she has to make is, how well does she attempt to like insert herself into a new friend group of the girls that are on like the ace private school team called the Firehawks. There's a girl on that team that Riley really looks up to, their captain, Val, and you know, she wants to impress her, get in her good graces, so she doesn't have to deal with all the typical teenage bullshit that we all had to deal with. You know, she wants to be included, she wants to be on the A-list, the inside. That's what she wants. But all that stuff kind of comes at the expense of her gut instincts, which are to, you know, protect, defend, and be a part of her old friend group. So she has to find that balance between these two things. And I'll give this movie a lot of credit, I really will. It does itself plenty of favors by not descending into any of the tropey, trappy crap that a coming-of-age story can really lay out there. On the human side, in Riley's real world, none of the girls in the Firehawks are mean girl types. The girl that she looks up to, and don't worry folks, I didn't see any whole like budding teenage female non-hetero stuff. I've seen some headlines out there that suggest it. I think that's just a question of people projecting what they want to see. It was very clearly a case of hero worship to normal folks. Sorry, that's just how it was. But Val was pretty cool to her. She encouraged Riley to give it her best. She went easy on Riley when the coach went hard on her. You know, she included her with the new girls to say, hey, you know, we're all going to go hang out and get to know each other, this and that. She was part of that group. Likewise, Riley's friends are the same way. They're stoically heroic throughout the movie as Riley's trying to find her way. And then disaster strikes inside Riley's head when anxiety shows up. And anxiety is a very interesting character in this movie. I thought a few months ago, reading headlines and kind of leaks about the movie, that this was really just going to be some obnoxious modern day deconstructionist kind of just tripe where we're going to have safe spaces and anxiety was going to be celebrated. I was not really like that at all. Anxiety was actually a well-written character in this movie. It's voiced by a female. I'm just going to call Anxiety she for purposes of simplicity. Sue me, whatever. Anxiety's written very well in this movie. She has good intentions. You know, she's the teacher. She's the projector. She wants to create scenarios that she can plan for to keep Riley safe from things like disappointment and embarrassment and things like that. But the problem is when, as we all know from real life, when anxiety takes control, it becomes panic and it becomes paralyzing, and then you can't do anything, and then you crumble. And this movie touched on that really well in the final act when it came down to legitimately a panic attack that Riley has at a key moment in what would determine her future. Very cleverly done. I'll let you guys go see it to check that out. But the most clever part of this movie is the resolution between anxiety and joy. Anxiety, for all her faults, was trying to do right by Riley, but got swept up in the elevation or escalation of what she did. Joy had the same outlook from the beginning, where what jump starts the problem that comes up in Act 2 is Joy taking memories that she didn't think Riley wanted, like the bad stuff, like remembering getting a bad grade on a test or waving at a boy that was waving at somebody else. All very relatable things, and these things come up multiple times in the movie. And Joy has invented like a catapult. It's like a pneumatic tube at the bank, you know, it sucks up the memory ball and shoots it way out into the back of her mind. It was all very clever and colorful. I liked it. But Joy has to realize that Riley needed those things too. And those harsh memories of being disappointed or being embarrassed, when absorbed appropriately, give you the resolve to become a good adult, to give you strength, to give you a sense of perseverance and self-worth and all those kind of things. So Joy realizes that she's kind of the flip side of a same coin that anxiety's on, and that both of what they did contributed to problems Riley was having down the stretch. And in a cool kind of poetic way, at the end of the flick, they all do have to come together to form Riley's new sense of self, which is neither the dichotomy of only anxiety, which is all that negative reinforcement. I'm not good enough. I'm not a good hockey player. Nobody likes me. I'll never be this. I'll never be that. Versus Joy's very childish, simplistic, I'm a good person. Everybody loves me because I'll do my best. It merges together in a way that presents a new, more complex sense of self, which is how adults really are, where we do all have moments of doubt, moments of shame, moments of guilt, balanced hopefully with moments of pride, appropriate pride, you know, moments of happiness that don't give way to euphoria via joy. You know, we find that balance as we grow. And I thought, you know, for all the crap Pixar gets for some of the other garbage that they've spewed out on the screen, Inside Out 2 isn't that. Winter Wolf approves. Take your kids to check it out. I really, honest to God, don't think you'll find anything in there that you wouldn't approve your children of seeing. And as you can see on the screen here, the headlines and box office don't lie. This movie's a force to be reckoned with. It may actually just dunk on everything for a good while until Wolverine and Deadpool come out. But again, that's a separate viewing group. Probably the overlap, probably not there. This will probably hold strong until Despicable Me rolls through with the next kid movie of the summer. But that's it for me, guys. I'll see you in the next one.